Welcome back to Sorare Assist. Adam here, and today we've got a game week bonanza. Today I'm going to be selecting all of my teams live, including my rare teams, limited teams, and the casual and specialist weekly teams. This is because, of course, Sorare have recently announced some new tournaments that are coming our way, so I thought in celebration of that I would be picking all my teams today live. So make sure you stick around for that. If you do like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're new to Sorare, then there is a link in the description to sign up to get a free limited card, 13 common cards. I've also recently released a strategy guide as well for July, which is free to download. Link for that is in the description below as well. Okay, so let's get straight stuck into picking these lineups then. Been really looking forward to this. Now I'm going to head over to the Sorare Data lineup builder as I always do. Now, if you look at the drop down here, there has been a new feature added on Sorare Data. You've now got the option to select the Underdog Limited team, Specialist Limited, things like that, and also the Academy and the Casual League as well. Now, this is really good because if you select on the Academy League, now you're obviously going to get all of the players here that you've got in the Common Scarcity and the Limited Scarcity. This is really handy because this is going to give you a chance to look at what commons you've got, look at the odds as well, the odd percentages for the players that you've got available. This is a really fantastic feature. Now I'm going to be starting with my America Limited team today. Now this is because the probabilities of winning a prize in this tournament, this game week, looks the most favourable. You can see the points thresholds here. 300 for a tier 3, 333 for a tier 2. I think Asia was the other one that was close to this. 307 and 340. So as you can see, slightly higher needed for the Asia. So I am going to concentrate on the America League first. Obviously the other divisions were slightly higher points needed to get amongst the rewards. Now let's have a look first at the goalkeepers then. So we've got Blake. So it looks like Blake is the only option here. So this is going to be an obvious choice. Putting Blake there away to Columbus Crew. Defender. Now I've got Wagner, of course, plays for Philadelphia Union like Blake. So again, I think I'm just going to go with Wagner here. That makes the most sense. So again, I'm going to pick Wagner in the defender slot. Midfielders, again, another easy choice. Carles Gil has to be there. So I'm going to put him in the midfield slot. Now, forwards. I've got Johnny Russell here. He's not been on the best of form, but I do expect him to improve on his recent form. Fetch, I believe, is injured for this game. Barrera could play. Jesus Ferreira as well is obviously a good option. They are odds-on favourite as well to win that game, Dallas against Miami. So he's probably a really good option. But I may need him for my under-23 side potentially. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly save this. Save these three players. I'm just going to go over to my under-23 limited team. Just want to have a look at what forwards I've got available for this game week. So I've got Suga there, which is good. Kato as well. They both should be starting, I would have thought. Maybe Kato's a little bit riskier, but he has got a chance of starting as per the Sorare Sharp predicted lineups here, which is a really good site if you guys don't know about this. Got 6% chance of potentially starting. And he has been scoring recently as well and doing well when he has been coming off the bench. So he could get a start there. So I think probably Suga is probably the most safe option though in that under 23 team. But I think I am going to use Ferreira in my America Limited. As I say, I want to be focusing my best players in this team, okay? That is the main focus to start with. Right, so put Ferreira in the forward slot there. Now, extra slot, let's see who I've got available. So, Ladero is potentially a good option here. Valdez as well, he's back with Club America owned to Atlas. Favourites to win that game as well. And Valdez was on fantastic form, as you can see, before the international break. But Ladero's of course has also been on fantastic form, but he is away to Toronto in this game, so that's not going to be the easiest game. Valdez is at home as well, should be fresh from the break. So I'm actually going to go with Valdez there in this final slot. Now captain, this is going to be an easy option. Best player on the platform, Gil. And he's got the most favourable fixture as well out of all these players. So I'm going to go with Gil as the captain. Now this is looking fairly solid to me. Philadelphia have not been managing to keep many clean sheets recently. So I'm really hoping that they manage to keep a clean sheet in this time round. So I'm going to go ahead and save that now. So now I want to concentrate on my Asia Limited team. So goalkeeper then. Now Sejeno did make his return in the last game, which is good news. Rung Song though probably is potentially the standout option. He does have the slight favourable fixture over the others. He's not been keeping many clean sheets recently, but I do expect them to get a clean sheet sooner or later. And there is a reason that I do want to pick Sung Rong here, because I do have Yamane as well for Kawasaki Frontale in the defence. So Rung Song there. Now defender Yamane, here we go. So I'm going to put Yamane in there. I'm happy with that. Pretty easy option there. Now midfielders. So Sang Ho is still injured, I believe. Jin Ho is always quality. Looks like he's got a good fixture as well. Not the favourites, but he's still capable of getting a decent score. I've also got Chang Min actually here, who seems to have a better fixture here. But he is predicted to come on as a sub in this game and not. But he has been starting as a sub recently, but that's because he was injured. So hopefully he will start this one. I think that's looking a pretty favourable fixture as well. So I am tempted to go with Lee Chang Min here. Now there's no lineup information at the moment at the time of recording for the South Korean League. It usually comes out tomorrow morning, last minute, again on Sorare Sharp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with Lee Chang Min. He is my favourite to start there. I will obviously check on the team news. Now forwards, the first option is going to be easy. Obviously Sassin is an easy option, but in this case, because I've got Lee Chang Min, I am going to go with Jo Min Kyu in my forward slot. And I think the extra slot, there's only one man for this job, and that is Sasina. Looks to have a really good fixture as well at home to Suwon. So we'll put him in there. Now this team is looking really solid on paper. Let's hope it can bag me some rewards. In terms of captain, again another easy choice I think. I'm going to go with Sasina. He's obviously got the all-round play. Fantastic player. He's probably still going to get a decent score even without a goal or assist. So I am going to go with Sasina as my captain. Go ahead and save that lineup. Now next up, I wanted to concentrate on the All-Star Limited team. This was the next one in terms of the points needed, and had the best percentage chance of getting some rewards based on some of the probabilities on, again, Sorare Sharp, as you can see here, and also based on the reward pool here, of course. Right, so goalkeepers then. Let's see who I've got left then. So this is the All-Star League, so obviously I've got gonna have a few options here. Now I've got Sejeno. Now I do not need to have in the back of my mind as well the Specialist Underdog League. The Underdog League is going to be players with an L15 of 50 or below, and of course in the Specialist League you need 2 players with an average of 40 or below in the last 15. So I am going to bear that in mind when picking these players to make sure that I do have some players left for that division. Right, okay, so I've got Sejeno here for Constable Sapporo. I think that's looking promising, and also Hyun Woo as well of Ulsan. Now I think I'm going to go for Sejeno here. He is back from injury now. Slightly better odds than Hyun Woo as well, but there is another reason I want to pick Sejeno, because I do have Fukumori as well for Sapporo, so I'm going to probably pick him in the defender slot there. Again, it's another good defensive stack. So yeah, I'm going to go with Fukumori here. So that's my defence sorted out. A nice defensive stat there again. Now midfielders, let's see what we've got left here. So Jin Ho was one. He is playing Ulsan as well, which is obviously the other good goalkeeper that I've got. So I'm probably going to go with Jin Ho here, because I don't want to be putting him in potentially the same team as the Ulsan goalkeeper if he's playing them. I think he was one of the decent options as well from the players that I've looked at so far. So I am going to go with Jin Ho there in midfield. Now up front, got Magoza here. He's just signed for Vissel Kobe, of course. I don't think he's actually going to be eligible to play just yet. So look who let's see who we've got left then. So we've got Suga here, who of course plays for Constable Sapporo, but I may need to consider him for my under-23 team. Although I think my under-23 team is potentially going to be fairly weak this game week, with Mihailovic being out and Lee and Han Bum making his way back to fitness for FC Seoul. So I am tempted to go with Suga here. So he has got It's obviously plays for the same team as my defensive stack, so that could be an interesting one. And then Kato could fit into my under-23 team. As I say, I think that's probably going to be a weekend side this week anyway. Johnny Russell is obviously tempting. I can obviously use him in my specialist team as well. I think it makes sense to go with Suga here. So he's obviously can link up with Fukumori and Sejeno. So I'm going to go with him in the forward slot. Now, in terms of the extra slot then. Now, I've got Ladero here, so he's very, very tempting. 40% chance of winning. I've also got Pazzulo, he's a decent option. He's got 100 in the last game week, as you can see. Got Murillo as well, who's back. Although it looks like he was subbed off injured in the last game. Hopefully that wasn't a bad injury. He's just come back from injury. Got 78 in his last game as well. So there's no other standout options here. There's obviously Johnny Russell as well, but he might be worth saving for the other teams. I've also got Dela Cruz, but it's been in and out of the team recently. It's not been on the best of form. Now I think the best option here is probably going to be Ladero. So I'm going to put him in the final slot. Okay, so captain then. I'm going to actually go with Ladero as the captain because he has had 3 pretty poor games in a row. So I do expect him to have a better game sooner or later. So I will go for him as the captain. And again, I'll go ahead and save that. Now, I think the next lineup that I'm going to focus on is this under-23 side. Let's just have a look at the probabilities here. So 256 to win a tier 3, 307 for a tier 2. I don't know if we'll have the odds for the specialist league. Oh, we will. 256, 307. Oh no, not yet. No. Now I don't think we'll have the odds for the specialist limited league yet. If we just go to Sorare Sharp, I think they've got the probabilities here. So 7% and 6.8% for the Underdog Limited league in terms of getting a prize. And the Underdog league in 5 is 13.5. So as you can see, it's probably best to focus on the under-23 team next. I'll go back to the under-23s here, under-23 limited. Here we go. Again, start with the goalkeeper. There's only one that I've got here, under-23 eligible goalkeeper, and that is Tani for Shonan Belmare. So I'll put him into the goalkeeper slot there. Now defenders. Now Hanbun did come on in the last game. Again, I don't know if he's going to be starter in this game. I've got Lopez for San Jose. He did start the last game actually. Not really scoring very well though. And I've also got Nealis as a potential option as well. Nellis could be a good option, but I might want to save him for my specialist limited team. As you can see, he's going to be maybe a decent one to put in there for one of the 40 or below players in the last 15 look. So that could be an option there. Let's just go to the... Let's just save that. Just want to have a look at the All-Star Limited just so I can see what defenders I've got for this L15 of 40 or below. Yeah, so it looks like Nealis is going to be my only option in terms of defenders for the Specialist League. So I'm going to go back to my under-23 team then. So in that defender slot, I'm probably going to have to risk Han Bum here. He was on fantastic form before his injury. Maybe he will get his chance to start in this game after coming on in the last match. So I am going to go with him in the defender slot. Like I said, it's going to be a fairly weakened team anyway, with Mihailovic being out, which is one of my main men for this division during the summer months. Okay, so let's have a look at the other players I've got then. So, got Duke here, not been playing fantastically well though. I've also got Kaneko for Sapporo, so that's interesting. Duke as well, which I've just recently signed him for Inter Miami. Fairly difficult game though, away to Dallas, but he could definitely be an option. I've also got Garaldi here for Velez. They look to have a decent fixture as well, so he could be an option. He's expected to start as well. So I think I'm going to go with Garaldi here in the midfield slot. Now forwards, I think there was only one left really, and that was Kato. Caruso, I don't think he's expected to start this match. So I am going to go with Kato in the forward position. And the extra slot then, attempts to go with Duke here or Kaneko. But I've just thought of some actually. The under-23 eligibility is actually changing, isn't it, from the 1st of July. So this means that any player born before the 1st of July 1998 won't be eligible for this upcoming game week, I believe, and obviously future game weeks in the under-23 division. So that actually rules out Kaneko, and it also rules out Kato. So that's put a spanner in the works. So I'm going to have to actually go with Caruso here. Hopefully he'll come on as a sub, or even better start. So Caruso's going to have to go in there for Kato. And in terms of the extra slot, I'm going to have to go with Bruce Duke here. Looks like the only one who was potentially going to start. So that's it, that's finalised. So yeah, I don't think this team's got that much chance. No, you never know, you never know, you never know. If Bruce starts, which he should do, Giraldi should start. Handboom, he needs to start, of course. And if Caruso can come off the bench, or even better start, then you never know, you never know. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. So in terms of the captain though, first of all, I'm going to actually go with Giraldi here. I'm going to head and save that then. So now let's move on to my specialist limited team then. So goalkeeper. Now I do like to try and go for a solid goalkeeper where possible. So I think I've only got one left actually, and that is Hyun Woo. So I'm going to go with Hyun Woo. Although there seems to be a bit of an error here. So it's not letting me select put any players in the starting lineup, which is it. So I'm going to go over to the Sorare website and pick my specialist team in there. We'll obviously still use the lineup builder to look at the fixtures. So I'm going to put Hugh 1 in my goalkeeper slot. So defenders then. So it looks like Miller's been injured recently. Valabla is an option. Eduardo has not been playing recently. Mayer's been in and out of the team, so he's a risk. Legato could start potentially here. He's started the last 3 games. Not been doing too bad. Delbridge. But I think what I'm going to do here is potentially use Nealis here as one of my players 40 or below. Let's just see what else I've got available in terms of the 40 or below players. That's in the last 15, of course. You need 2 players who are 40 or below in the last 15. So we've got Duke here. He's been playing atrociously though. Rutter's been coming off the bench recently, so there's no real standout options there. Forwards, Patrick. Gamba Saka at home to Aurora Reds. Ilyuchenko potentially, but I would need to wait for the South Korean team news for that one. I think Patrick is probably looking potentially the best pick. But they have got a difficult fixture though of Gamba Saka, so maybe Ilyuchenko will get his chance in the Jonebuck team. This could be an interesting one. He is capable of getting some goals as well when he does play. Ruti, I think, is potentially injured, but he's not 40 or below anyway. Let me just go back to the midfielders again. So Duke was one for Sporting, but he's been playing absolutely rubbish. And no others really. So I think I'm going to have to go with Ilyuchenko here in the forward slot. There he is. He is capable of getting some goals and assists if he does start. Hopefully he'll get his chance here. And in the defender slot, I'm going to go with Nealis for the other 40 or below player. So that's it. So I want two quality players here now, really, in these final 2 slots. So I'm just going to go over to the extra here, the extra slot. This is obviously going to bring up all the players that I've got available. Let's have a look at some of the options then. So Pazzulo could be a really good option here. Sang-ho would be an option, but I think he's still injured. Magoza's not going to start it yet, I don't think, for Kobe. Murillo, I don't know how bad his injury was. Fetch is out. Barrera really had a fixture there. Johnny Russell could be one, but he could go in one of the other slots. Harakawa as well. Blanco as well, although they've got a fairly difficult fixture away to Nashville. Yeah, no other standouts here really. Right, so let's just go back to the top then. So I'm going to go with Pazzulo in one of the slots, and then Johnny Russell in the other slot. I think that's going to look pretty solid. So Pazzulo there, he was a signing a couple of weeks ago actually. Do like the look of this guy. Looks cheap as well, Pazzulo. And in terms of the extra slot, I'm going to go with Johnny Russell. Expect him to come out of his goal scoring drought and hopefully get a goal. There he is. So Johnny Russell there. So on paper, I think that's looking fairly solid there. Especially if Ilyuchenko can start or even come off the bench and get a goal or assist. So go ahead and confirm that. So that's that team done, and now I'm going to move on to the underdog team. Now this one I believe will be 50 or below in the last 15. Let's just have a quick check. Yeah, 50 or below in the last 15, so that's for all the players in this one. So I'm going to click on register. Again, I'm going to pick it in here. Now I think I've only got one goalkeeper actually available for this one, and that is, let's just go to goalkeepers, Bae Jong here. He's been playing actually quite well. Actually, I don't know if he's going to be the first choice when Yo Hyun is back, but potentially so. I think he's the only one I've got left, so I'm going to go with Bae Jong in the goalkeeper slot there. Now, defenders then. Now this is good that it's on here because it's already filtering the players that I've got available based on the L15, as you can see. So it's not showing any players above that, which is good. So we've got Nagato here, so he could start here. It looks like they've got a really good fixture as well. I will need to check the team news on that though as well, nearer the deadline. Delbridge, this could be another good one, good option here. And Sang Woo could also be another good option. I think the most favourable one though is probably going to be Nagato. We'll need to check if he does start though in this game. Delbridge is probably the second best. So I'm going to go with Nagato in the defender slot there. As I say, I will check on the news nearer to the time to make sure he's playing. Midfielder, Fernandez is out I believe. Blanco could be a good option here. Palezovic potentially come off the bench in the last game though. Kaneko, now Kaneko's cropped up again. I think he could be a good one. No other standouts there. So I'm going to go with Kaneko in the midfield slot. There we go. Forward, so I've got these jokers left. No, only joking. Some good players here. So Suga, now he's already been selected on one of the other teams, hasn't he? So let's just have a look at who I've got left then in terms of the forwards. So I've got Kato here and potentially Nice Goza, who I am tempted to go with actually, because I think I'm going to pick Blanco in that other extra slot. So I think that makes sense. I'm going to go with Nice Goza in the forward slot there, and the extra slot can be Blanco. So there we go. Looks pretty decent really for an underdog team. I think the only doubt really is potentially Nagato, but I will check on the team news nearer the time to make sure that he is starting. Now captain, I'm going to go with Blanco here. Even though they've got an hard fixture, he is capable of getting those goals and assists. Had a quiet game the last match, so hopefully he can come back to form in the upcoming game. Go ahead and confirm that. So that is another team confirmed. So that is all my limited teams picked. I'm now going to move on to my rare teams. And if you're still watching, well done for lasting this long. This is why I don't pick all my teams every week on these lineup builders, because we would be here all day, especially when I have to edit this video as well. Okay then, so let's go on to the rare team then. But if you did want me to do this every week, do let me know in the comment section below. I will pick all my teams live. Right, so in terms of the rare teams then, so again I'm going to go with the probabilities of winning rewards again to dictate which lineup I put as my most solid lineup. Obviously I want a team in the All-Star Rare division anyway, because I do want to be getting those thresholds. But let's just have a look at the probabilities then. So for the All-Star Limit, for the All-Star Rare, it's 330 for a tier 3, 359 for a tier 2. All-Star Pro is obviously going to be a bit more than this, so 367, 376 as you can see. So I don't know if I'm going to enter that division this week. Now the America Rare, I've not actually got a goalkeeper. I had Gazan, he was obviously injured, so I'm not going to prioritise that one. So the only other one really is going to be the Asia Rare. So what's the odds for this one? 313 and 344 for Asia Rare. 313, 344. And let's have a look at the All-Star. 330, so as you can see, slightly better chance for the Asia division. And to be honest, this strategy has been working pretty well. I have only won tier 3s, but that has been the last 2 game weeks consecutively running. So I have been winning the rewards using this strategy. Although tier 3, I have still been picking up the rewards. So I'm going to do the Asia Rare team first, then the All-Star Rare team. Not got a goalkeeper for the under 23 or enough players for the under 23 division rare, so I won't be picking that team this week. But I'll pick this team and the All-Star team and then see if I've got any players left for potentially a specialist rare team. So goalkeeper then. So let's have a look who I've got available then. I think I've only actually got 2 goalkeepers to be honest. Yeah, I've got Kim Dong-hyo. I've got 2 of those for Ichin. Now I want to use the bigger percentage one for this team, because obviously this is the one that's going to have the most chance of potentially getting a card. So I'm going to go with Dong Hyun in goal. Defence then, so we've got Fukumori here. I think he's probably the only option. I've got Nagato as well in this one, but I am going to go with Fukumori. He's got the most favourable fixture by looks of things potentially. Midfielder, again easy option, Jin Ho there. Up front, so let's have a look who we've got here. So we've got Min Q here, I think he's the obvious option here. I'd normally pick Magoza as well in this side, but as you can see, as we know, it's not completed his transfer to Vissel Kobe yet, so it's probably not going to start that one. So I will go with Min Q there, and in the extra slot, I'm going to have to probably go with Kato here. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Kato because there's no other. I've got Yamakawa and Nakato who could potentially start this game, but not the most favourable fixtures, are they? So I think this actually might change my plans a little bit here. I've got Gorilla for Ichin, but it's not been on the best of form. So maybe I should concentrate on the Global All-Star team instead. Because to use all these quality players and then put a potentially low-scoring player in is going to be a bit of waste potentially of these 4 players. Let's just go over to the... I just want to see what the criteria is for this Specialist Rare League. There's 2 players, an average of 40 or below in the last 15, okay. An average of 60 or above in the last 15. So, that was the other option. America team, I've not got a goalkeeper, rare goalkeeper for that division. All-Star Pro could be an option potentially. But I think this is a bit of a risk to put all these good players in this division when I've got a bit of a weaker options to fill in this slot while Magoza is obviously still completing his transfer. So I think I'm actually going to clear this team here. Save that. I'm going to pick an all-star team. I'm going to pick an all-star mega team here. I think that is the best course of action here. Concentrate my best players in the all-star team. So I'm going to go with Dong Hyun here, the best percentage one here, 7%. And defender, I've got Wagner, Fukumori and Diaz as well for River Plate. But I'm actually going to go with Fukumori here. Midfielders, Valdez looks a really good option. Probably looks a standout there in terms of midfielders. So I'm going to go with Valdez in midfield. Forward, Min Q I think is looking really good. Got Jesus Ferreira as well, but I do like Min Q. He's on fantastic form. Fairly decent fixture as well, so I'm going to go with him. And the final extra slot, I think, again, it's another easy option. Mind you, I could go with Jesus Ferreira here or Jin Ho. Now, Jin Ho is actually playing the top team in the... So maybe I should go with Ferreira. He obviously scored in the last game as well at home. Yeah, I think it makes sense to go with Ferreira there in the final slot. So that team is looking pretty solid. And in terms of a captain, I could actually go with Valdez here. Bit of an outside pick. I don't think many managers will have him in the starting lineup this week. He is a fantastic player though for Sorare. He's been scoring amazingly well as well. As you can see, he's got 61 in his last 15. So I'm going to go with Valdez in the midfield slot. Pretty confident that this team is definitely going to pick up the high threshold in this division, so it makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and save that team. Now, in terms of the next team then, I think it makes sense to go with an all-star rare pro team. So, goalkeeper. I would have done a specialist rare, but I've not got enough players with an average of 40 or below in the last 15. Defence. Tempted by Diaz. Has not been on the best of form though. Don't know if he's definitely going to start this one. He should do, but there's always a risk there. I think it's going to be Wagner. I'm going to bet on Philadelphia to hopefully get a clean sheet in this upcoming game week. So midfielder, Jin Ho I think is the obvious standout choice here. Forward. Now, have I got any forwards left actually? It's going to have to be Kato. Put Kato in. And the extra slot, it's between Lewis Morgan or Blanco, I would say. And I think I'm going to go with Blanco. So I do have him in one of my other teams as well. So I'm going to go with Blanco here in that final slot. Captain, again, I'm going to go with Blanco because I need him to perform essentially to have any chance of getting any rewards in this tough division. I also need, of course, Kato to start this game. So this team's not looking the best, but I think the All-Star Rare team is looking really solid. So I'll go ahead and save that. Right, now I am going to pick my casual team now, because obviously we've got the casual league here, as you can see. So this is the casual league. So here we go. So this is now showing me all my common cards that I've got. So I'm going to start with the goalkeeper slot. It looks like it's going to let me pick the team as well with these pluses here, which is good. It wasn't letting me do that on the specialist one. Goalkeepers then. So Saka looks a good one. 66% chance of winning here. I've also got the Digo goalkeeper as well. I'm just going to purely go off the odds here though, I would say. Matt Turner, but he's playing for Arsenal now. I'm going to go with Saka in goal. Now defenders, who have I got available? Only one, brilliant. So I've got Nakatomo here. So I do need to win some more common cards in the defender category because I've only got one. Now let's have a look what I've got here then. So Jinho, I've got Jinho here. I think I'm going to go with him actually. I think that's a fairly easy choice there. Forward, so we've got Minkyu here. I think he's an obvious choice. He's in my other teams. I've also got Drusy here. They're away to Colorado, but he's also always capable of getting some decent scores. So is Acosta as well, but another hard fixture. And Jesus Ferreira's here. Now, of course, I've got him in my rare teams and limited team. So I'm going to actually go with Jesus Ferreira here as well. So that team is looking decent. And in terms of the captain, I'm going to go with Minkyu here. So again, that's my common team picked. So that's looking solid, and I'll go ahead and save that. So I think that's all the teams picked then, isn't it? Let's go to the Specialist Freakly. Now I don't think, is the Specialist Freakly on this week? I don't think it is it? No, it's not on this week, is it? The Freakly tournament. So that is all my teams picked. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly look at the America division, because what I might do is if I've got enough players, just put a team together in this one using a common goalkeeper. So I've got Diaz, haven't I? I've got Lewis Morgan as well, spare. Nah, it's the forward that I've not got, isn't it? I've not got a forward. So these are all used. Raul Rodriguez is not used, of course. He's injured currently, so I'm going to put him in there. Rusnak in the final slot there, and the goalkeeper. Let's have a look who else we've got. So yeah, I think I'm going to go with Coronel here as the goalkeeper. Now, I know Rodriguez is not going to play this game, but you never know if these three can get a really good score with the bonuses and etc. Then you never know. I could have an outside chance of picking up a reward, but might as well put this team in anyway. You never know what could happen, so go ahead and confirm that there. I don't think there was any other teams I could actually put in with the players that I've got left. So we have come to the end. Now that took some time. If you are still watching, well done. And we'll just go ahead and quickly look at the saved lineups very quickly. I'll let you guys get off because this has taken some time. So some good lineups here then. So we've got the Champion Age Limited. Rung Song and Yamane make up the Kawasaki Fontale stack there in defence. Got Changmin and Minkyu as well as a stack for Jeju. And Captain for Cecina, who should hopefully bang in some goals and assists. Champion America, we've got a Philadelphia stack here in Blake and Wagner in defence. The fantastic Carles Gil as captain. Valdez returning now the Mexican League is back. And also Ferreira up front as well for Dallas. Under 23 team like this, Danny in goal, Hugh Bion in defence, hopefully he'll start this week. Duke in midfield, new signing for me. Garaldi as my captain, and Caruso, who again will hopefully get an appearance on the bench, or even better start this game. All-Star Limited team is looking a bit of a Sapporo stack with my defensive stack here, and also Suga up front. I've also got Jinho in midfield with Lodira as my captain. All-Star Rare team is looking at this: Don Hyun in goal, Fukumori in defence. Got Captain Valdez, Jesus Ferreira and Minkyu make up the forward line. This team's looking really solid. All-Star Pro team, we've got Minkyu, Dong Hyun in goal again, Wagner in defence, Blanco's captain, Jinho in midfield, and also Kato, who was also a new signing for me recently, up front for Sorare Assist. Casual League, I've only got one defender in the Asia and America teams, believe it or not, so I've had to put in Nakatomo there. Got Asako in goal, Jinho in midfield with Minkyu as my captain, and Jesus Ferreira up front. Just head over to the Sorare website then, because there's a few teams I've had to pick on here. So we've got the Specialist Weekly here, limited team. So we've got Hyunwoo in goal, Nellis in defence, Pazzulo in midfield, and I've also got Ilichkenko and Johnny Russell up front. Underdog team looks like this: Beijong in goal, Nagato in defence, Kaneko in midfield with Blanco, who's the captain, and Nias Goza as well up front. And I've also got a rare America team, which I don't really expect much from this week, but might as well use the surplus cards I've got. I've got Coronel in goal, common keeper. Pablo Diaz in defence. Lewis Morgan as my captain. Rusnak as midfield. And also Raul Radius, who I know is not going to start. He's currently injured, but is the only forward that I did have left. So that was all my teams. I'm sure you'll agree there's some fantastic teams there. Did take a while. Picking these teams does nowadays with so many lineups, so many special weeklies, that sort of thing. Good luck to you guys in the upcoming game week. If there's any injury news that you do know of in these lineups, do let me know in the comment section below. And thanks a lot if you did watch this video all the way through. Okay guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you again soon.